So I think we're live. This is Painting Platinum, number 48. I believe. I believe this is number 48. Justin is going to be somewhat absent today. I'm sure he's talked about it on other streams, but he had his wisdom teeth taken out and he's not feeling very well. Um, so, hi, If I Paints. So, he was talking about how different people have said different things about this procedure. And I kind of told him that when I had it done, the biggest thing I took away was it's nice to have your medicine ready to go as soon as possible. But anyway, I was up around kind of like doing things with my friends that day, but I was like 16, 17. And our bodies don't heal as well when we're older, is something he brought up. So anyway, he's not feeling that well, and he's trying to rest up for Reaper Live to be just a little bit more active. So, that's that. Yeah, I Paint says it depends on whether or not the teeth are impacted, and that's a good point. So, yeah. Hi, Anki 2014. So today we're going to be giving away the phthalo blue, green, and clear orange triad again, along with a few bonus colors. I don't have them right with me available, but trust me, we're going to do it. And they're beautiful. So, that being said, we're going to go forward with our Sophie. I don't think the color is super, super accurate right now because I got my gray background really dirty. So we're on like a purple background, like a super soft lavender background. So, I mean, you could probably obviously tell that that's not super color accurate. Oh yeah, so I Paints, you can also straight up purchase the clear Thalos orange on the website right now. I don't know if they've updated it, but one was out of stock. At least one was out of stock, and I had to recount the ones that I set aside for the giveaway. So we're going to do that. I also talked to Ed about making those a permanent part of the line. Oh, only orange is available. Well, if you're interested, be really, really vigilant because those will be coming up. I have a handful of like maybe, oh, I'm trying to think, maybe 30 of each that I'm having them put up. I don't think that'll happen until tomorrow. Yes, LT Floby, I think that is I think that's a good use for them. Blue is never up. Green disappeared quickly. Hi Valander. Hi Plainer Spoons. Oh. Well, just know, Plainer Spoons, that I am pushing for making those a part of the permanent collection. Hi, Celtic Boar. I don't think I've seen you before, so welcome. We have learned to paint from the Learn to Paint kits. Now we're moving on to something more festive. Hi, JS Slugger. So this is, I'm trying to think if this is my second model outside of the Learn to Paint kits beyond the Australian, the kangaroo and koala. So anyway, we're going to keep going. And what I wanted to talk about today, first of all, I've gotten this a little too cool. So I kind of want to warm it up because, as somebody mentioned last time, it's kind of like a sort of cocoa color. So I want to warm it up, and I would like to make, oh, good, Celtic Boar. It's good to be off. So, what was I going to say? I would like to make this miniature a dark autumn. So, characteristics of somebody being a dark autumn is they have dark features, but not as high contrast as if they were a dark winter. Maybe next time I'm going to have a graphic for you guys. I just want to make my own because I don't want to like steal from anybody else. But when somebody is a dark autumn, they're not, their coloring is not super bright nor super muted. It's somewhere in the middle. Um, LT Floby, that's really cool. I love my last name, and I'm thinking about like if I ever get married, just doing the keeping it thing, or doing like a hyphenated or changing it to my middle name because I really like it. I enjoy it a lot. So, but yeah, so if this miniature were a real person, they would have dark green, dark hazel, um, warm brown, or like warm black eyes. Warm black, warm dark brown. Um, there would be a lot of rich red brown pigments in their skin and hair, and um, their hair would be either like anywhere from medium brown to black warm hair. People can deviate with any of these, what's it called? Any of these features can kind of deviate from that and still be within that characteristic, um, but yeah, Reaper John Justin is resting. He's taking his medicine and chilling and trying to get rested up for Reaper Live. He told me that he will be watching, so not to go too crazy. So I won't. It reminds me of when I was a kid and my mom would leave and she'd be like, I'm going to be back in 5 minutes, even though she'd be back like hours later. Like, don't get in trouble. So Justin had his wisdom teeth taken out, plainer spoons, and he's not feeling well. I keep telling her she owes me a Reaper family discount. She is not forthcoming. Huh. I think we had another Reagan here, but spelled differently. Let's see. So, so the deal with these colors not being available in the UK is that the reason they're going on sale is we've made all the kits we can make and we're just using the leftovers. So anyway, let's go into it. Like I said, this skin tone is not like as warm as I would like, but I think I'm going to keep going with it and then I'm going to glaze it with a really warm color. Oh, thank you, i5 Paints, Lebralski. For every 5 subs, we're going to give away one of our Phthalo Triad plus bonus. I discovered that almost 12 years after I created this name that it translates to He Who Sits Beside the Power in one variant of Tolkien Elven. My last name is Chamberlain, which would often sit beside the king in medieval courts. How funny, Valander. That's a very interesting. I was just listening to Smashing Pumpkins, and I love that Jimmy Chamberlain. So, yeah. So anyway, let's get going because I will sit and stall for the whole time. I still can't find my wet palette. I don't know what I did with it. I probably put it on a high shelf and don't see it. But anyway, so we're working dark to light. So at this point, and like I think I've taken away a little too much shadow here. But hold on a second. Okay, never mind. No, I don't think we're hashtag free yet. Boo-boo, Lebrowski. Maladrock, thank you, Maladrock. Hopefully I've thanked everybody. I'm a little distracted. I think we need either 2 or 3 hashtag frees. Oh, thank you, Dr. Bob. Thank you. So we got an extra one. Perfect. Shoot, what was I gonna say? So yeah, I'd like a little more shadow here, but we'll come back and do it. I need to highlight her face. I think I was last working on her eyes. So what I talked about last time and what we pointed out. Hold on a second. Let me try and get focused on this. Okay. We're looking a little clumpy. That's okay. Um, but when you looked at this mini before I painted it, she has pretty narrow features, which is fine. But I extended her eye makeup or shadow or contour or whatever out toward her temples, toward her hair to kind of increase the volume there. I might do a wide highlight on the nose. I'm certainly, let me see. I'd say I'm not going to shadow the nose. This is a really, really pretty sculpt. I think this is a Bob Rodolphe. And then I have to decide what color I want to do. Her ribbon, I found a pink I like that I think will look good. I just want to make sure that the coloring will remain kind of what I want, because if not, this might not end up being a dark autumn figure. So while I have like a pretty decent grasp on color, I'm not super experienced with painting, so a lot of times I don't know what mixing is going to take me to. So that's something I'm learning. Hi, Nomad Zeke. Lumps in the mascara, exactly. We're going for Tammy Faye over here. What? Okay, so Plainer Spoon says, Sadie, I have been reading up on some serial killers. You would be surprised by how many of them actually painted or drew. Huh. Artists are a complicated bunch. We're different. So, anyway, golden skin, I think, is what I'm using. I'm going to have to go over a small part. I don't know if you guys ever do this, but I'm going to have to go over a small part and see if golden skin is what I'm looking for. Golden highlight is now inactive, so I'm not going to use that. But I just want to talk about if I get this skin where I want it, which is like a nice warm skin tone, what I would want to avoid dressing this mini in would be white or black. They would be too harsh for her skin tone, for her coloring. Really, really, really bright, like jewel tone colors. But especially like really soft pastels. I wouldn't want to do that. So we'll think about that going forward if this maintains. Like, we might have a happy accident and change her coloring. But from what I've heard, real Sophie has warm skin and dark hair. Guys, I have something. Okay, so like on a personal, like not so happy note. It's like how many personal not so happy things can come out this year, right? So my hometown, Moobot's broken. Hold on a minute. Did you do a sub? Thank you if you did. Hi, Nomad Zeke. Oh, hashtag free. We're not open for. Oh, you know what it is? Justin has to turn on hashtag free. So whenever he says he's listening. So whenever we see him next, we'll have him turn that on. So I'm just doing, sorry, jeez. Just doing a, golden skin with nothing added to it. Like I've said before, highlights are supposed to be a little warmer. Rather, shadows are supposed to be cool. So let me see how I can hold this so that I can see and you guys can see. So maybe I can warm this up just by having the highlights be warm enough. That needs to be watered down a little more. Okay, got confirmation, so he opened it up. Awesome. I really hate that Justin's hurting. That's not great. That's not great for anybody. So anyway, my hometown has had this turkey. I've heard it's a wild turkey, and I've heard it's a turkey that was owned by somebody that passed away. That's the story. So anyway, this turkey runs wild and often blocks the road. It's a highway, not like it's like a 2-lane highway, so it's not like huge, but it's whatever, pretty serious road. This turkey blocks it, and he's pretty well loved, so everybody just sort of deals with it. So yesterday, somebody killed the turkey. Somebody pulled over and wrang the turkey's neck like in front of people. So they got video of it. I think they like tracked his license plate. Apparently there's not a law here about animal cruelty if it's a wild animal. So they're just getting him on like poaching stuff, and they have the game warden working on it. But apparently, it's like breaking news. I got a text. They think it's a homeless guy in the area, and he didn't say why he did it. Like, lots of people get pissed at this turkey, so I don't know. And the town is outraged. The town is so angry. And like, I'm upset. My cousin's kids are sad. I guess I don't know what the deal is. So, is the saddest thing. I'm so mad. I thought that he just hit it with a car, and then I read more about it in the middle of the night. Dude, this turkey made the Dallas Morning News. Not that turkeys care about fame, but if he did, yeah, they say it was a homeless guy. I don't know. Which is ironic because, and this is kind of a weird story. So, like, this is Argyle, Texas. I grew up right outside of Argyle, went to school in Argyle, and when I was a kid, there was this old building, and we had a homeless lady living in front of this old building, and apparently, like, the guy that owned it wasn't too well, like, didn't get along with the town officials, so he let her stay there, and for a while, like, people didn't like it, obviously, like, officials didn't like it, but, she became, like, this icon, like, she became part of the town, everybody really loved her, would take her things, whatever, like, she had offers of homes, whatever she needed, but she was happy, she had a tent, whatever. So what was, like, the town sort of adopted her. So I remember doing a project where we kind of talked about, well, what makes Argyle, like, what's kind of cool about it. And one of the things, there's not really that much, one of the things was Sam Bass supposedly hid gold there, and another thing was Janet, Our Lady. So she eventually moved away, which was sad. But what is ironic to me, and what I told my cousin, is that this has kind of pitted our two symbols against each other. Like, not that our symbol is like homeless people in general, but the things, the two kind of symbols of the town are kind of up against each other. So, and it certainly, like, I was really mad. I was really, really angry, and then I was like, well, it's a homeless person. Maybe they wanted to eat him. Not that I think they should have, but who knows? So it definitely has taken a sadder twist. But people still need to watch out for that guy. That's really weird. And I don't know if it was a local. I was kind of waiting. I was like, man, one of these days somebody's going to kidnap that turkey. So Plainer Spoons, I think animal cruelty can get you jail time here, but because he was a wild turkey. Oh, sorry guys. Bobcat, thank you for letting me know. Because he's a wild turkey, I don't think they're going to do anything except fine him for, I don't know, poaching, hunting without a license, whatever. So now they're already talking about, they put up a cross for him. And they're talking about all sorts of stuff about him. Some people want to rename the highway. What is it? They want to rename it like Tom George, because that's what they called him, Turkey Tom or George, Tom George. I think they should do, I need to tell somebody this. So in certain areas, they're doing these like community pantries, like these little food, I don't know, like food closets, sort of like almost like in a refrigerator just out in the street where you can drop things off and people can take them if they need them. And it's like a pretty wealthy area, but I wouldn't think that would exclude it from having people that need a little help, especially right now, which is part of what's so sad about this. It's like the worst year ever, and this has happened. The kids are sad. Everybody's upset. But anyway, I think they should have like a memorial little take a penny, leave a penny food, whatever. Yeah, I agree, Gimli. It's really, really, really unfortunate. And the kids are really sad. Okay, so like her kids, my cousin's kids are like, okay, let me think. They're like 7 or 8 and 5. And they're just to the age where she's like telling them stuff like this. So at first she was like, what am I going to tell them? And then she told them like, hey, somebody did this because they were going to find out at school. So it's like huge news. Like I said, this is a suburb of Denton and made the Dallas Morning News. They didn't say Bobcat why he did it. I don't know. Like, I know they have video. So I don't know if he, like, blocked the guy. The turkey sometimes would, I don't know, like, attack cars. Like, apparently he really didn't like black Jeeps. He never attacked my car. I would always, like, if I saw him, I would roll my window down and give him the gobble gobble. Like the, and he would come up to me, and sometimes I'd give him like whatever I had in my car, but most of the time I just give him the gobble gobble, and he'd like come up and say hi, and he was never mean to me, but for whatever reason, some cars he didn't like, some cars he'd check out. Like there's a business nearby that uses a Hummer as like a Humvee as advertisement. I think they've got one of those like wraps on it with their business information. And one day I was driving by, and it's actually pretty far south of town I mean, not completely, but for the turkey, I mean, that's a little trek, but he's standing on top of this Hummer, and this lady's taking a picture of him. Like he was just a real character. So I don't know if maybe, like when I first heard it, I was like, maybe he attacked this guy's car. But I mean, it's crazy on these Facebook groups. There are people that are like, well, he did cause people to be late for work and whatever. And people will be like, that's the killer. Like, check them out. Like, it's a full-on witch hunt. Or was. I mean, now they know who did it. It's really sad. And somebody mentioned on one of the article's comments, they're like, oh, he attacked people in a certain family. And it's like, yeah, but that doesn't mean you can be okay with it. I mean, wild animals do wild animal things. I've got ferals and I've been scratched. Feral cats. We're gonna want to smooth out this side boob. We're going to want, I missed a little spot of skin. I guess I should make that skin color again. I kind of hate that. Being lazy today. Yeah, they're victim blaming the turkey bobcat. Between her legs has too much shadow too. Yes. Well, Spoons, I don't know if you were here, but we started dark. I believe they are Athlete of the Month, but when... Oh, okay, good. So, yes, so we started dark. I watched Mocha's video from her class during ReaperCon, and yeah, she started dark, and I was like, well, maybe I'll do that because I'm not really good at keeping contrast. Drawkery, what happened was, I'm from this town, and for the last few years we've had this turkey who's been really popular, like kind of a symbol of the town. Everybody loves him, and he was murdered. It's very, very sad. Um, so what I was saying about the phalos, I approached Ed about it today, and what he told me is what he's been telling me for a while, which is like, well, if you keep this, we're gonna have to get rid of something else. And I was like, okay, well, I think we have to get rid of more stuff anyway. We're not the size we need to be for the rack or whatever he wants to do. So before it gets added, there will be a purge of some sort. The reason we would add the phalos and clears in general is because they've proven themselves as very useful, but we would just have to go through the data that we have and decide what we would not want to keep. I think so, Ashley, the month. I think that as many clears as we have are useful. Now there are some new clears coming out in Kickstarter, and they have been added to the active list kind of permanently, even though they haven't come out. We don't have any sales data on them. We know they're going to be, what's it called? We know they're going to be useful. Let's see. But they are going to go online. But the only reason they're not in the UK, I think I started to say this, I don't know if I finished, is because we assembled them here. So if we have left over, it's not like we sent them over. That might be something to think about, though, is just sending a few singles to Kit in anticipation that that would happen. Okay, so what I have noticed is I have really dark shadow here, and I have my highlight, but nothing like mid-tone. So I can't see why I wouldn't be able to go back and do mid-tone. Obviously, the face is like super too highlighted. It's like when you watch RuPaul's Drag Race and they first do their like baking. That's what we've got going. And let me look up close. It's hard for me to get up close and let you guys be up close. But, oh, that gives me that top view. I think I need to go down into the décolleté, and yeah, mid-wash would be great, and highlight. Yeah, I get confused too, but I remember Plainer Spoons was Plainer Crossroads. Um, so I remember, I remember based on that. But when I see spoons, I think spoons. It's so hard until like you're either friends with people on social media or you see people in real life to kind of differentiate in the chat because you don't have that like picture in your head. And I think my memory is definitely more connected with that. So that's way too bright. That's way too bright. It's like a bikini, like a not a bikini line, a tan line almost. But whatever. Maybe I'll just have to lighten that up and go back and shadow it again. I still never looked at champagne pictures. I meant to do that today. Oh my gosh, we've been so busy. I neglected. So like we teased, I don't even know if we should talk about it. We teased some new colors for ReaperCon online, ReaperCon virtual. And I just thought about it this week. So I'm in a process, a new process. And there's just so much going on, so much to be made. We have this new machine. This machine's taken just like a little bit more maintenance than I was prepared for. So I haven't gotten to mix as much as I would like. So we've got our Kickstarter fulfillment. We've got a possibility of some colors for the ReaperCon virtual. And we have a bunch of kit shop stuff because obviously it's Christmas and people are buying Learn Paint kits. So yeah. But what's interesting about my memory and probably a large number of people's memories, I know like everybody's memory works different, is that I always remember, or most of the time remember the numbers of these paints, the SKUs, and when I see the numbers, I think of the paint color. So like, yeah, I associate it in my head. But yeah. All right, so let me put on my readers. It's going to make it just a little bit harder to make sure that I'm where I need to be. I might set something here so I just remember to keep that there. Okay. I have to refocus. I'm just going to have to go up higher. Forgive my torn up hands. My hands are like crazy torn up now to the point where like just super glue myself back together every day. I've been trying to do lotion and what's it called at night? Lotion, like gloves sometimes to keep myself from drying out, but I'm so dry. And it's not just like a COVID thing. I've always washed my hands way, way, way too much. And they're just dried out. They're not taking it anymore. Oh, I've made a whole mess of this, guys. I hope this gets better. I don't think I thinned this enough is what happened. Hello.
Are you on?
It's Ed Pugh. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what time?
Till 4:30-ish. Why, what's
Okay,
up?
I'm just going to CC you the email then. I was going to have you read it.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody.
That's Ed. He says hi. So beard oil on the hands. I should try that. Get a nice unscented one. I've used hydrocortisone cream. Now I'm using, I don't remember what it's called. I read this thing. Thanks, Hunter Plays Drums. Yeah. Some like secret Reaper guys in suits and sunglasses come and throw me in a van because I've revealed the secrets. I don't remember what I was going to say. Probably not important. Okay. I'm going to leave that skin alone for a while because I'm in a place with it. And I'm going to do like a base coat on the hair. Yeah, 3 more subs and we get a second set of paints. Clinique's hand cream is the best one for my hands. Hypoallergenic and unscented and sinks in well. Oh, I remember. I heard that Beyonce puts this. It's not Aquifer. And Aquifer is like a thing. Maybe it is Aquifer. I don't know, but it's this like, it's almost like Vaseline that she puts it on her face and sleeps in it every night. And I've been doing that on my hands. And I feel like not, okay, so I'm a little bit of a skincare snob in the sense that I don't like using stuff with parabens in it or that's, yeah, I think it is Aquifer then. Or that's like petroleum based because I just don't know that it's that healthy. But I mean, whatever. I'm also not in a bougie skincare kind of place in my life. I kind of have to prioritize. So, but I don't know. It seems to work. That and my humidifier for my face, at least. Face and lips and whatever. Have any of the Reaper painters given you any tips and trips since you started, or are you just going off Learn to Paint Kit? I'm going off Learn to Paint Kit and what people have told me in stream. I really don't see people. I should watch more of the other streams, but it's hard. Most of my time is listening time, and it's hard to watch streams for me because I like it's easy for me to listen to like before I was on Reaper Live to Reaper Live and information based stuff, but when they're talking about technique, it's hard for me because I want to watch it and I'm usually busy. So anyway, that's that. What I'm concerned about here is that I'm getting too thick because I'm going to have to go back and shadow again. That was a really bright highlight. I probably should have had a mid-tone in there and just use a tiny. Yeah, Learn to Paint audiobooks, exactly. Thanks, Vigos Peeps. I've just realized, okay, so sorry, I have to focus. I'm going to try and adjust my palette cam so the color is more accurate because it looks like red oxide straight up and it's not. What did I do there? Okay, I know what I'm doing. So, brightness, saturation, hue shift. That is more accurate. I think it's like not that bright. More saturated, maybe. Just a skosh back that away is probably as close as we're gonna get. But what's weird is like too far. That looks like, what's this do? Not what I want. Whatever, that's more accurate. Huh. Yeah, I need to wipe my glasses with real stuff. I've already messed up these glasses. These are like, let's see, these are kind of cheapies. And I probably already need new lenses. Maybe mixture shadow and highlight and then into a glaze. Yeah, I think so for sure. And then I didn't get to thinking about this, so I started using the golden skin to try and warm it up. But if I end up wanting to warm up the mid and the shadows, that might take us too warm on the highlights. I don't know. We'll get to that when we get to it. Sky's clear. She's actually gonna have dark hair, because. Okay, so 2 sets of colors. Let's see. Yeah, glaze to warm it up. I think you're right. So, because there is a real life person that Sophie is based off of. I don't know who it is, but I've been told like what they look like, I guess. I mean, we all can see art, like concept art for Sophie that's colored. We all know that Sophie has Sophie's brunette. Sophie's not blonde. Now, I could see doing a Sophie with that let's pretend is wearing a wig or whatever. So yeah. And then, so we'll do the hair and then we'll just kind of look at the skin and we'll decide what we think. I really don't know what I'm going to do with this hat and the ribbon. I think I want to do the panties pink. And then I didn't bring any Sophie champagne and I should have. That's okay though. We don't have to do everything today. I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was Valander. Somebody last time was like, he was Dr. Bob. One of the regulars was like, it's funny how fast you can move when you're interested in something. I'm moving a lot faster on this than anything else. But what's cool about this is there's not that much to it. It's not armor or anything. It's very simple. So like it's a sexier model or whatever, but it's also very like simple is I think a reason that I gravitate toward it. And it's large. So it's easier for me to handle painting a little bigger. Ooh. Maybe. I'm gonna have to look at that. That would be like a nice that would be like more complimentary. I sort of want to do one of them in a neutral, either the panties the or the ribbon. Sorry, guys. And then we could do like a metallic, like a lot of these hats people wear on New Year's are like sparkly. I like to wear sparkles on New Year's. I feel like New Year's is a sparkle holiday. Um, yeah, I specialize in nude miniatures. I'm really thinking about specializing in modifying nude miniatures and putting them in clothing. That's my new thing. I have an urban legend Sophie that I don't even know how many people know about it. I guess that's what makes it an urban legend. And I started painting it one time and I was like, I don't even want to look at a reference photo. I don't want to paint a person's parts. Which is funny, like I'm like, man, I've really turned into kind of a prude in my old age. Or maybe just more appropriate when I was younger. I would have really enjoyed painting whatever for I guess for the shock value, painting naughty bits. But now I'm like, oh, I could put some panties on her. I could put some of those like I don't know if they're still popular, but you know the underwear that um, has like it's like a bra with like the regular bra strap, and that has like an extra strap on top, and sometimes the back has like crisscrosses and stuff. Um, yeah, I thought about doing that. I-Fi Paints, I asked Ron, I was like, is Sophie based on Adrian? And he was like, no. That's how I found out that no. Oh, I-Fi Paints, it'd be so cute, like Barbie and Ken. I was actually thinking, and like, I really don't have my finger on the pulse of what's going on uh, with miniature painting. But I was telling Michael Collins, I think it would be so cool for us to have like an alternative mascot that's like maybe a androgynous sort of character, like a pixie-esque androgynous character, because I've heard a what's it called? A criticism of Reaper is that a lot of our figures are very boobsy and kind of va va voom, and that they don't like that. But then the interesting thing is, it's like that's what sells. But more of a like more diversity in body type, I think would be really cool. Um, so I'd like to see like smaller boobies that maybe aren't set so high up, and a little tummy and maybe a little butt and I don't know, something different. I'd like to see that. That being said, might not sell. There are features that we're attracted to. So like you want to avoid playing up these beauty standards, especially because it's so weird to me that beauty standards come in and out of fashion. Like now, like in the 90s, big boobs were the thing, and now it's like a big butt and small boobs, and it almost reminds me of fashion like fads in the sense that like maybe not everybody would look good with whatever features. But then there's the part that's like in um in traditional art, there are there are proportions that the human eye likes, right? So I don't know. I don't know. Howdy, Dave Dwyer. Um, so like I personally, when I make a character in a video game, it's got a very hourglass sort of proportions, and I usually go like a little bigger with the shorter up with the shoulders, not like too big, and wider with the wider with hips and whatever. But representation matters. Like I don't think that's just something people say. Like representation's really important, and yeah, I don't know. So I'd like to see stuff. I don't know. I'd like to see cool stuff. Sorry, guys. I'm really going to try and get better about this. Maybe I should, if I want to hold it here, maybe I should move this. Sorry. But yeah. I kind of want to get into sculpting. I feel like I don't want to seem like a hobby hopper, but I've always really liked sculpting in clay. And I really liked this green stuff experience. I was telling Katie, she's an artist that works here. I was telling her, I really like these panties, but let's see how they hold up to the close-up photograph test. Because you know how sometimes you think you've done a really good job on something and you photograph it and it's a little, a little grainy or whatever. Like, that's what I'm struggling the most with is the graininess of paint when you don't thin it enough. Bone 6, representation matters. Okay, so that's a nice little base coat. That looks like Sophie's hair color to me. I think I want to bring out a lot of depth to it. Yeah, this is a really nice sculpt. And then I want to use a technique. Really, it's like an observation of Rhonda Bender's that hair, like, yeah, hair has highlights that go up and down like throughout the strand, but hair has highlights that go in bands. So it's hard to tell with mine because I don't have a lot of dimension in my hair. Talk about like 90s and outdated is the way I do my hair all one color. But let me see if I can like grab some and maybe I'll big camera it. So if you look at a piece of my hair, the way that it highlights and shadows is there's a nice mid-tone here. There is a highlight that goes in like a band there. Sorry, it's so hard to point to the right spot. Shadow here. So I don't have natural highlights in my hair because this isn't my natural hair color. Oh, thanks, Spoons. I like it. But I've thought about doing like the darker root that it has been popular forever and will probably go out as soon as I do it. But yeah, so there's a band. It's like a zigzag sort of shape there. One there. Up there, and it almost goes in like a halo. So that's a really realistic way, I think, to do that if I can achieve it. Painting platinum is a lie. The hair is a lie. I have there was an Anna Nicole Smith unlicensed documentary. What's it called? Not autobiography. Unlicensed biographical like documentary, and it was. I don't remember what it was called, but I remember there was a song on it that said she had dark roots. I always thought that was funny. Yeah, my natural hair color is blue. But ever since I was in cosmetology school, I've always wanted really, really... I mean, even before that, when I was in high school, I wanted really light blonde hair, and I just never could achieve getting the warmth out. It's actually very warm right now, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Don't let me forget. But Dr. Bob says, did you already say what color you chose for the ribbon? I didn't. I want a bright pink in there, I think, but I don't know if I want that for the panties or for the ribbon, or if I don't think I want it all the same color. And with the hat, I either thought of like a black or like dark color or a sparkly color. We have a band in the hat. I actually wonder if I filed it off kind of up here. Hold on. Let me see if I can't like... No, it's still got the band. She's trying to look like a skeleton. I would like a really, maybe the pieces of 8 color. I don't know if I'm gonna use Sophie Champagne on her. What I really thought about is shoot. Prom Night Pink, that would be a good one. Dang it. Oh. So what I've wanted to try as a technique is like skin that looks more like skin and very careful placement of metallic on high points of the face. Ed told me also that there was an artist, I don't remember who, I don't remember exactly. I think he said he was a European artist. I can't remember though. That would make skin that looked like skin by having powder, like a powder flake kind of situation that he would either add to on the palette, add to the paints, or add directly to the mini. So I've thought about doing that, but there's this technique in makeup, and I have yet to make it work with paint, where you do a primer or like base coat of sparkles and then go back over it, and it makes it look really glowy. Yeah, I do want to do a contrast color for the two. But I'm trying. Yeah, I should have done the hair. It's so hard for me because I'm a little messy to get this going in the right place. It reminds me of when I painted my office, and I would paint the walls and I'd get a little of the wall color on the ceiling, and then I would touch up the ceiling and I'd get a little bit of that on the walls. So I was up here one night until like 3 in the morning, and Michael Collins was up here really late, and he came in, and he usually comes in and lets me know when he's leaving, or he comes in to remind me that I said I wasn't going to work late. And he comes in, and I've been going around in circles in my office over and over again. He was like, are you going to do that all night? So I finally gave up. There's a few spots on my ceiling that aren't, I think it's my ceiling. Yeah, I think it's my ceiling that I finally decided to let go. Next time I might do it all the same color. Or, you know what I've always wanted? Do you remember like the MTV Cribs days? There was, I think, an MTV Cribs of Rob Zombie, and Rob Zombie and Sherry Moon's bedroom had like a storm cloud effect on the ceiling. That was pretty neat. Oh, I-Fi Paints, Michael Collins is very cautious when it comes to like infection control right now. He's really trying to avoid people, mostly because his wife takes it very, very seriously. I see a lot of myself in his wife. Her name is Danny. It's really interesting because I see a lot of myself in her, and also like we've had a lot of similarities. Like we're both very close to our grandmothers, and we're both like sensitive and don't like germs. I mean, nobody likes germs, but I would say that my level of careful, while I'm not like scared per se of COVID, I really don't want it, and I think I will be scared if I get it. So I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that. So I'm pretty cautious, and it's no. So I don't think he was overworking. He might have been overworking. Let's see. Yeah, I think a green bottle is what I'm gonna do. I paint the ceiling color on the top 1/4 inch of the wall. That way I can make a nice clean line. Yeah, apparently Ed and Dave used to paint apartments, so they gave me some tips, and they did that. They were like, you kind of like carve it out and then you do the walls, and it's a lot faster. Yeah, I find paints. So work-life balance is the worst for me. And I haven't gotten any better at it, but I've gotten better at work. So like used to, I always wanted to be home with my boyfriend, and I loved dicking around. I would tell people, I was like, my hobby is dicking around, either on the internet or like going for walks or going for drives, which makes me feel guilty because it's like a waste of gas. But I love to go for drives and look at houses. That was like my favorite thing to do. I am not the type of person that comes to work sick. Even really like not feeling well. Like I won't come in. I'm really bad about that. And then this year, when was it? Maybe last year? Yeah, Dr. Bob, my chin needs to see you really close better. Last year I had really bad panic attacks, and I had like tried to get off any kind of medication. So I took antidepressants forever. I got off of them. And then I was like, okay, something's got to give. So I got back on them, and then I got back on medication for ADHD, and I got really, really good at working. But my family life and my relationships kind of not tank, but don't do as well. So I think I'm going to have to find a good balance. And I really don't know, like it might not be getting medicated doing it at all. It might just be getting older. And when Anne left, the way I kind of describe it is when Anne left, the to-do list became mine. So I have this huge to-do list, and this is what I've been saying recently. I have this huge to-do list, and I love lists. I love making lists and checking them off. But let's see. So it became mine. It's my responsibility. If I don't mix this paint, it's not going to get mixed. Like now I have my apprentice, and he's getting pretty independent. Like I never want to feel like I'm abandoning him, but he does really well. He might actually want a little more freedom than I give him. But for a time, it was like, oh, this list is going to get bigger if I'm not at work. So that might be part of it too, is I have more of a reason that I absolutely must be here, even when like I don't feel well. Not when I'm sick, but like if I don't, sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I don't feel well. Wake up, my throat hurts, whatever. But anyway, I think I'm going to use Treasure Map on the ribbon. I just don't know what color I'm going to do the boots. Maybe brown boots? And sparkles on the hat? I don't know. We'll just have to see. But yeah, so I'm really bad at work-life balance. Now I'm good at work and bad at life. Used to be good at life, now I'm bad at work. So, yeah. So when I think of her wings, I think of like almost like a purple gray, black shiny boots. That'd be nice. Oh yeah, so I'm not going to do that to the panties. I thought about doing Treasure Map on the panties, but then I was like, then they're going to look like dingy granny panties. What color my boyfriend calls Dingetta. He has this white t-shirt that's like all like purchased. It was already sort of off-white, but a weird off-white, and he calls it Dingetta. I love it. My white stuff tends to turn Dingetta because I'm not very careful with laundry. I'm getting a little better about it. Whoa. I started reading this okay, not reading. I used to really love this Martha Stewart book. It's called The Homekeeper's Handbook, and since I'm going to be moving, I bought it because I was like, well, wherever I end up, it'll be my place. It'll either be an apartment or a house. So I bought this Homekeeper's Handbook, and it's got how to do everything in your home. It's amazing. I love it. And it talks about like there's literally something about everything in there. It like gives you how often you need to do certain things, and how to do laundry. It has a part like how to wash your dog. So, it actually kind of sucked, but like the last month of my dog's life, she needed a lot more baths and, it's like food, blind, deaf dog, she's going to make a little more messes. So anyway, Martha Stewart had this tip in there where you put a towel down, and bathe your dog where they can stand on a towel because they feel more secure. Oh, there's a mold line there. It's making me mad. I don't know what I'm going to do. I might fix that before I come back next time. But anyway, I put her on this towel and she liked bath time a lot more. I'm like, oh, great. She's lived her life 18 and a half years having a horrible bath experience. And if I just would have listened to Martha, it would have made all the difference. But anyway, she talks about laundry. I think Martha Stewart uses unscented laundry detergent and scents her clothes with essential oils. But it was like, don't do that if you're going to use it in the dryer, because like don't ever use anything with oil in it in the dryer because it could catch fire. So I want to do the pink, and then I think I started this mini years and years ago and I did pink, so I kind of want to do something different. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I do want to do pink. Maybe even like a kind of corally pink. Oh, and then here's another thing. Yeah, exactly, spoons. I'm very cautious of the dryer because I've heard that a lot of fires start in the laundry room. So try to be cautious of the dryer. Light blue or green maybe. Yeah, it's gotta be, if I'm like sticking to my principles, which I'm trying to do because I'm trying to learn, green would tie into the bottle. Then I want to do like not too bright, not too muted. I don't know that the pink I want to use exists in our line. Pinks are pretty unpopular. They don't sell very well, so we don't have just like a huge collection of pinks. I was going through discontinued colors like all the way back from Pro Paints with Ed, and we were talking about what's missing in the line, and I was like, well, a lot of these I'm picking up are pinks because I like pink, and because that's a big mold line. I caught a big one. So like, what's it called? Oh, there's some soft pinks that were discontinued from the MSP line a long time ago. I think the rose colors might have been discontinued and originally in the line. There's some good, you know what? I think I want to use one of those rose colors. I think I'm going to do that actually. And I've got them behind me. Fairy blush. That's interesting, Casmania. But like I said, I very seriously doubt I'll be able to convince Ron and Ed that we need a pink. Unfortunately. There was this conversation. Oh my gosh, what was it? We were trying to decide we wanted to keep something, but if we wanted to keep that, we'd have to get rid of something else. And Ron brought in these pinks and was like, well, these are some pinks. Pinks don't sell that well. And Ed was like, why don't we get rid of all of them? And I was like, we can't get rid of all of them. We need one. Probably shouldn't say that, but I generally don't, and probably to a fault, really. I try not to get too attached to any colors. So like maggot white is about my favorite color, but we got rid of maggot white. So I try not to fight for colors in the way that Anne would. That being said, Anne knew more about why we needed the colors. So anyway, I think I want one of the rose colors. I don't know which one. Not Ashen Rose. Maybe Briar Rose. When I was in cosmetology school, we had a washer and dryer. And this was when I was in instructor school. And I walked by the dispensary where they did all that and they got everything together. And I was like, it smells like burning. What is that? And I went in and they had not cleaned the lint trap like in a long time. It was like full. I was like, ladies, like not just here, but everywhere in your life, empty this out. For real. Like, no joke. Empty this out. I don't ever want to see this again. Don't do it at your home. You're gonna start a fire. It was like my worst nightmare. Like, what would happen if you started a fire at home and then left and your poor little pets were stuck in there? Be horrible. You can get your driver service to get the lint trap misses. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. I was thinking about that recently, is there's probably lint in there in other places. I'm at my grandparents' house, and they had an old washer and dryer that I'm obviously still using, and the washer leaks, but, like, I can't figure out why it leaks. It's very intermittent. So I don't know. I always turn the water off after a load is done. I think it helps. I don't know. Sometimes I turn the water off and then the washer ends up, like, I'll open it a couple days later and it's got water sitting in the bottom. I'm like, what's up? So I don't know. Maybe it's going somewhere and, like, draining into somewhere and then coming back. I don't know what it's doing. But my stepdad, like, okay, so I watch my mom's dog every summer when they go out of town, and my stepdad's, like, really anal about not running the dryer when you leave, which is always, yes, I did Reaper, John. I got a count on those. So anyway, like, what's really interesting about being a child with parents and step-parents is that, obviously, no, I didn't give them to Ron yet. Obviously, I'm going to do that right after, actually. I'm not going to do it now because it's not interesting. Obviously, like, you're raised a certain way and all families are different, and then you get a step-parent and they do things completely different. So my stepdad's really anal about not running the dryer when you leave the house, whereas, like, we used to do that all the time. And I've gotten a little bit better about it because of that. Because I realized, like, oh, yeah, I don't want my house to burn down. I don't want the situation where you smell burning to happen when there's nobody there to smell it. So, yeah. But yeah, John, I will do that immediately after this. I will send those numbers. But the real world stuff is about color, so that's good. I really like that. It sort of reminds me, I think there was a Victoria's Secret shoot where one of the models, maybe it was Giselle Bündchen, I can't remember who though, was wearing like a linen sort of color like this, and it was really pretty. Okay. Francis, I had a friend in cosmetology school and their crock pot started a fire. Hold on. I have to go back into my little rack over here. Okay. So I've got, I'm not sure what it was. Maybe a wire short. Okay, so I've got Briar Rose and I've got Cactus Flower. My biggest pet peeve is people, including myself, running over wires in a rolly chair. I hate it. It's my least favorite thing ever. Okay, so let's look at this Briar Rose. I love Briar Rose. The first time I mixed it, for the Reaper set, I was like, that is so accurate. Like, that so is a rose color. It's just so nice. Like, it was almost like I swatched it and I was like, I can almost feel like the velvetyness of a rose. Roses have the nicest texture. I started a fire with a stove and a toaster oven. My mom told me when my dad and her were married that he had a nacho fire and burned the carpet. Like, drop nachos on fire on the carpet. Which is kind of funny. I might take a little metallic and mix with this color and just go along the edges of this ruffliness to bring out the texture. Gimli says my wife back in high school set the house on fire with a Pop-Tart. What's an immersion circulator? You know what I probably should have done? Is a different color on the panty versus the ruffles and the bow. I can still do it. What time is it? 4:09. Got about 20-ish minutes. Got a little on the skin. I hate that. So I'm thinking back on the time that I put foil in the microwave and the story like is starting not to make sense in my head, which is that I had peanut butter that didn't have a lid anymore. Like, I dropped the lid, so I used foil and I put it in the microwave with foil on top, thus learning that you can't put foil in the microwave. Now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, why would I be putting peanut butter in the microwave? That doesn't make any sense. Never thought about it. Maybe I will use treasure map on the panties. I think the Reaper Keeper bag issue was a supply issue. I don't know exactly what happened with that, but I'm fairly certain that that's the deal. Is that it was having to do with like a outside supplier sort of thing. Racks 333, we are doing the phthalo blue, phthalo green, and clear orange with a couple bonus colors for our giveaway. And I think so far we're up to two of those. It is at 6 p.m. Reaper time, exactly. No, it's really frayed. Marmundo 89. I am really bad at brush care. It is the deal with that. I'm trying to get better. It's real frayed. I might do something fun that I tried the other day. I think I will do it because it's kind of fun. Okay, marbles are usually Friday with Dave and John. That's good. No, I don't think marbles tonight. We're in a place where we can do things in studio, but we're really limiting it because we're in a real heavy. Not only are we having a lot of cases, like COVID cases, but our ICUs are filling up. Like our medical infrastructure is kind of pushed almost to its limit right now. So we're really trying to set a good example, even if I mean, all of us are kind of different, but some of us know more or less if we've been in a situation. Like some of us are just exposed to more people. I really, really, really like those colors together. It's hard to tell. Excuse me. It's hard to tell. The colors aren't picking up just perfect, but I really like them. What'll be interesting, because this is both like education and an exercise, like a trial thing, is that in mini painting, you want there to be high contrast. So we're trying to stick with a color palette based on beauty for people who are big and don't need as much contrast. Well, what if we're doing a soft summer? Our mini was a soft summer and we didn't want a whole lot of contrast. Would that play well on the mini? Interesting. So I have to decide now if I want the whole panty to be the same color, and that if I use a highlight, will that be enough contrast for me? I could also do a bright white. I think I'd kind of like a bright white. That would that'd be like a, hey, here's butt, like real loud, like emphasis on butt. Okay, I'm gonna do bright. Quick swirl on the top of your palm of your hand when it's wet helps. That I'm gonna try and get better. So yeah, even if we know, or if we're pretty sure we haven't been exposed, we try and set a good example. I'm thinking about what I have in here. I've got rose gold for one. I'm gonna use that for something. That's another thing I could use on the ribbon. Probably not anymore though. Probably gone too far in a different direction. Also got pearl white. Hold on. Either way, we'll come back to that. Dirt Diver says, yeah, you can just never tell if you've been exposed. I have no idea how I caught it, and next thing I know, fever for 31 days. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. I try and be extra careful, so like I am going to cut Ed and Dave's dad's hair, and I think he's 89, but I'm really careful because I'm like, this is a super big responsibility to work with the elderly right now. Or I mean, anybody can get it, anybody can recover, but I try and isolate myself for a few days before I do that. I've heard that most people show symptoms or come positive. I know not everybody shows symptoms within 4 days. So I'm like, okay. And I wear my mask the whole time and all that. Wow, sky's clear. It's a haircut anniversary. Yeah. I was really, like, before my grandparents passed, I was real weird about people coming over. Like, I had to get pretty ugly, which I know made my grandpa unhappy that I was, like, ugly with people. But I was like, do not bring your dirty self over to this house. Get out of here. Okay. I forgot that these boots are, like, feetless boots and toeless boots. So I gotta do skin. As a hairstylist, I see this learn how on YouTube and you'll be fine, and I get a little nervous. I saw that. Do you think that's true, Dr. Bob, or do you think that's a troll? Yeah, Jesus boots, exactly, Dave Dwyer. I would say this. If you are going to cut your own hair, don't get ambitious. If you're doing a fade, don't decide you're going to do a bald fade because you're not going to do very well at the first time. It just won't happen. He demoed it. Oh, it works, sky's clear. I'll give you the theory behind it, which is haircuts are based on angles. Some haircuts are done where everything is pulled straight up. Some haircuts are done where everything is pulled straight down. So when you see like a bob with no layers, that's a 0-degree haircut. Everything is pulled down. There's no elevation. And then there's a haircut where everything is pulled out 90 degrees from where it grows. That would be a 90-degree haircut, which in Texas is the haircut they make you do for your test. And most of the time it's ugly because it'll leave like a little shelf. The Mighty Jabberwock, you're right. I mean, people do it. It's fine. I would just say don't get ambitious on it. But there are people. I've seen people who do their own bald fade, and it looks great. So, yeah, 90-degree. That's I'm trying to think what I do. My hair is really fine, so I try not to layer it too much. But I do my own hair. I cut my own hair. That being said, I messed mine up with paper scissors. Oh. Yeah, Yeah, it's not too bad. What I used to do in high school is I would take tape, like just I would brush my hair straight down. I would do it dry. I've always liked dry cutting because you can see kind of how what it's gonna do. But I take a piece of Scotch tape and just wrap it. Usually I do a bob, wrap it around, and cut along the bottom, and it works fine for me. But remember to look down when you do it because if you don't, you'll have like this much hair that sticks out. Howdy, y'all, Bevism. So yeah. I kind of want to do the skin later because I'm going to have to clean up the skin in other places. Got about 6 minutes. Trying to think what I want to do with that 6 minutes. I'm going to think about what color I want the gloves to be. I might want the gloves to be this linen color, but just what we can do is we can change it up by having it have a different texture. So this ribbon can be like soft and the highlights can be more diffused, and we can make, I don't know, we can make the gloves more like bright highlight. Exactly, Trasharama. Maybe we'll just do some thinking. Maybe we'll just spend this time to do some thinking and planning. Oh, you know what I was going to say earlier? So a few years ago, I read about New Year's traditions, and there's a New Year's Eve tradition where the color panties you wear will bring you different kinds of luck and prosperity in the new year. So like if you want to bring in a lot of money, you'll wear green panties, or if you want to bring in love, you'll wear red panties or pink panties, and so on and so forth. So we'll say that this Sophie is going to have a lot of love in the new year. Maybe in a sort of Reaper Justin doll type juju way, we'll bring love into the new year with Sophie's rose-colored panties. So we don't want to be too matchy-matchy because it's not like she bought her hat and ribbon at the same store. And she's not really wearing it. Maybe she's just wrapped up in some decoration. And then according to my little theory I made, I don't want to use black or white because that won't go well with her skin. Maybe we'll just have to do more thinking. Commando is against TOS. Lebrowski says, I can trim my beard with scissors, but I never try and cut my own hair. I don't trust myself. It's irritatingly long. I don't trust anyone around here to cut it. It's past my shoulder blades. Makes it difficult to sleep. Linen with a drop of pink's a good idea, actually. Like a blush color. I like that. I like that a lot. I do think I want a sparkly band or a black band on this hat. Yeah, so we'd almost go for like a shell kind of color. And then I don't know about the boots. I kind of want brown boots. So yeah. I want to have a lot more definition in the hair, so I think I'm going to have like really dark low lights. Black Eyed Peas, of course, Dr. Bob. Sparkly. Good luck for you. Kuroniko is that I can't change. Okay, so we have to do the giveaway. Hopefully Justin will pop in. If not, I'll have to do the giveaway manually by hand. I don't even know if I can do that. I'll do the mash. Oh, Reaper John can do it. Thank you, Reaper John. So we will definitely be able to do it. We won't have to do other stuff. So we'll give him just a minute. We're just going to admire our work and think about what we want to do. I kind of want this Sophie to have, I don't think, yeah, it is open. Hashtag free, get your hashtag freeze in. I should have thought of this before, but I want this Sophie to have either a belly button ring or a belly chain. It'd be a little busy though. It's two giveaways. I do have Ramundo. I don't know if you've seen this. I love showing it off. Hold on. So, thanks, Dr. Bob. It's bigger, and that helps me a lot. So I'll show you guys my color star. I don't know if I've shown it in a while. And this would be kind of my wheel to get a random color, but still have it be pleasing to the eye. So let's go big camera. I love how I say it, even though I'm the one doing it. So big camera, we have our color star. This was my great grandmother's. It's very old. You can buy them online. They're really expensive, so you might like make one. So then we have these little paper cutouts and ones that came with it. So I bet you could have some sort of process where you draw a random color and then a random little one of these cutouts. So like we'll use this one as our random one. So let's say I do a little drawing and I draw green. So, and I draw this cutout. So that gives me a color palette. Or if I draw, let's say I draw red, violet, and that gives me a little color palette. And then I guess I could pick dark, medium, light, pastel, whatever. So, yeah, pretty nice. So that would be my, method if I were going to do it. Because I'm pretty analytical. I don't like random. Somebody's talking. I think they need a color. Yeah, like Sophie says, but with color wheel cutouts. Exactly. So, I think that's it. Let's see if we have... Oh, there's 3 giveaways. Okay, good. Paint Rack app is good on that too. The Art of Color book by Itten too. I'll have to check that out. I wonder if I have it, because I swore there was like a book or notes with this, and it made it seem as if she took a class on this. All right, so, okay, John's about to pull. For finding color combos, I think I would do a randomizer, some sort of randomizer. I think there's a way, I'm sure there's some kind of program online that you can, what's it called? Pick a random whatever, or you could assign a number to it. You could be like blue is 7 and so forth. So let's go back to the little camera. I'm not feeling the big camera today. All right. One bad monkey has been drawn. McKnight. I may be one. So if you don't know what to do, go ahead and enter ! I won something ? In the chat. And it's going to give you the instructions for what to do if you've won. Congrats, everybody. I think this is going to be the last week that we give away Thalos, which means that next week we'll bring something fun and exciting, which I love. Yeah, congrats. Exactly. Dark Abacus Bot is telling you what to do. We super appreciate you. I do think we need Justin for this. Hold on. Unless, John, you're able to do it. We need well, John might be able to do it. We need to raid somebody. Anne comes on at 4:30 most of the time. Oh, plainer spoons. There's always a way. It's like I've said before, when people were really sad about the colors becoming inactive, we did not burn the formulas. So there was a week that I trolled somebody with that. Somebody asked where Ed was, and I was like, I saw him out back with a grill burning all the formulas. I hate that, the mighty Jabberwock. The reason being is because the only reason we're selling them is because we have some left over, and because they're not assembled over there, they wouldn't have any left over. And we're sorry. One day it's going to be a perfect system and we'll have it all figured out. All right, so Reaper John has our raid all set up and ready. We will see you back here at 6 p.m. Central U.S. time. And we hope to see you then. And we'll see you next week on Painting Platinum. So, yeah, we'll do a little bit more on our Sophie. We love you. Be safe. Mwah.
All right, bye everyone. We'll see you in about an hour and a half-ish.
Hour and a half. Thank you, John.